Hey YouTube, this is Go from the Friday Night Shooters. Long time no see. I'm making this recording on my new gaming PC, which I'm absolutely delighted with. So, when I was researching, looking into what I wanted from the PC, I looked at loads of YouTube videos, checked out loads of websites, did an awful lot of research. So I thought I'd make this video just saying what my experience was, in case there's anyone else there thinking of making the jump from console, being an Xbox or a PlayStation, up to gaming PC. Basically, I'm keeping my Xbox. The Friday Night Shooters will always be shooting on the Xbox, but I wanted a gaming PC because I was making my videos on a laptop, a very old laptop, and basically a 5-minute video was taking about 2 hours to render. The video editing software wouldn't work properly. It's very hard to sync stuff up because there just wasn't enough power in it. So I had sort of a choice. I could spend about £400-500 on an okay PC, but I decided to go double that. I spent about £1,000 on a very good PC that I could play games on as well, because I mean, like everyone else, enjoy the gaming. So this video is basically going to be my experience moving to a gaming PC, which is quite a jump for me. Now the footage you're watching, not particularly exciting to be honest. It's just the first thing I grabbed. One is Hitman Absolution, which is basically me. I haven't even learned the controls properly for the game, so instead of sneaking up and silently killing people, I'm just running around and shooting them because I'm so used to Battlefield 3. And some of the clips I have then are bit of Battlefield 3, and it's me on the PC, not on the Xbox, which are where my clips are usually from. So, first of all, with going back to moving to PC, what did I do for my research? Well, first of all, I thought about building it myself, and I gave very serious consideration to it. But when I added up the prices of the components and everything I wanted, it wasn't that much extra. I mean, we're only talking about 50, 100 quid, not even that much, to get to buy it from an online retailer. And the advantage of that was that I was getting either 1 or 2 years guarantee on work and on parts, depending on which retailer I went. So, and I like the idea of being able to, I mean, if it goes absolutely kaput, instead of just looking at my own handiwork that went wrong, I have got support people to ring up. So I was thinking between two companies. Overclockers UK was one of them, overclockers.co.uk, and the other was PC Specialist. Now both companies seem very, very good. In the end I went with PC Specialist, just because I was on their forums. I was looking at one rig that I was going to build. It was pretty good. It didn't have everything I want coming in at like about £950 I think it was, but if I wanted the extra things that I wanted, like a certain graphics card, a certain processor, decent quality motherboard, it was pushing me into kind of 1,100 territory, and I really wanted to come in at under 1,000 if possible. And then one guy on their forums was really, really helpful, and he sent me a link to a review PC on PC Specialist, which basically had everything I wanted and a little bit more. It had a Sound Blaster card, which I really wasn't particularly interested in, because the Sound Blaster card is like the onboard sound on a motherboard these days is pretty good, but went for it anyway. So that's what I went for. The website, the PC Specialist website, is brilliant. You get to sort of check in each day, it shows you what stage of building and testing you're at, you know exactly when it's going to arrive to within an hour in your house. So great thing, it arrived on a Friday. We had people visiting that weekend, so I didn't get to open it. It was just a giant box in the room. It was like having a Christmas present but not being able to open it. Finally got to it last week, and yeah, it's been working fine out of the box. It's been absolutely brilliant. I'll let you know roughly what the spec is, just in case people are interested. So it's the case is a CORSAIR CARBIDE 300R. The CPU is an Intel i5 3570K, and that's overclocked to a max of 4.4 gigahertz. It probably isn't that 4.4, but somewhere around there. Motherboard is an ASUS P8Z77 VLX. I have 8 gigs of RAM. The graphics card I went for was the 2GB NVIDIA GTX 670. I've got a solid state drive at 120 gig, and I have a 1TB ordinary hard drive. The solid state drive means it's a very fast boot for Windows. It loads incredibly quickly. It used to take me about 8-9 minutes to turn on my laptop, get Windows XP to load up, get Chrome to load up, and actually sign in and get into my email. To do the whole same process takes about 30 seconds. With the solid state drive, I've got a 650 watt power supply, which is a little, it's okay, but I probably, if that's one area I would have liked to get a little bit higher, but I was going to burst the budget. I've got a Hydro CPU cooler, small one, and as I said, a Sound Blaster card, and that's pretty much it. Came with Windows 8 as well. So I had that whole debate, Windows 8 versus Windows 7, but I was happy enough with Windows 8 in the end. Now, moving to sort of the idea of PC versus console gaming. I enjoy console gaming for the ease of how it works, and I've already had my first sort of hiccup with the PC. So basically, I was playing Battlefield 3 on the PC. I'll go into detail about that in a minute, but before I do just the actual game on the screen, it looked absolutely amazing. I was able to run it on ultra settings. Yeah, I mean, it looks a lot better compared to the console. But then all of a sudden, I started getting these weird LSD trippy kind of texture things. And it was horrible. It actually made the game completely and utterly unplayable, and I was like, what is going on? I've just bought a new PC, why isn't it working? Couldn't ring PC Specialist because it was a bank holiday in England. So I ended up going up online, and apparently there was a problem with the drivers of the actual graphics card, so there's nothing PC Specialist could have done about it. So I was looking online, they're talking about rolling back drivers. I didn't know if my card even had previous drivers on it, so I don't think I was going to be able to roll back anyway, but fortunately it worked out that NVIDIA were bringing out drivers within a day or two to update. So I managed to get the new drivers, and they worked. They seem to be working fine at the moment. So I was delighted with that. I know some people have been waiting months for those drivers for Battlefield, so I feel sorry for them. NVIDIA, you'd hope with such a big game they would have been a bit quicker with that. So yeah, that was my only problem, and that's the thing about console. The console just works, and there's a lot to be said for that. I mean, if you come home after work, you've got a couple of friends online, you just want to turn the box on, you just want it to work. With the PC side of things, yeah, there's a bit more to it. Having said that, I do believe the advantages you get from the PC are worth those extra little niggles and hassles. So as I said, the game looks beautiful, but I'm not too worried about how it looks, to be honest. It makes maybe spotting enemies in the distance a little bit easier. But when you're in the middle of a firefight, you're not really looking, oh, look at the texture on that wall, it's lovely. You just don't bother. Your head is in the game. But what I do like about it is the much bigger player count. With the bigger player count, you're always doing something. I find myself an awful lot of the time in Battlefield 3 on the Xbox 360 just running all over the place. I got one game on the 64-man server, and it was insane. To be honest with you, I don't think I'd play a 64-man server regularly, but it's good for it's good for fun. I think 32, 48 man servers are big enough for the infantry maps. 64 maybe for some of the big vehicle-based maps like Caspian or Strike a Car Camp, those kind of maps. Now then, actually, I had to relearn how to control Battlefield 3 using a mouse and a keyboard. Now, I'd use mouse and keyboard playing sort of Counter-Strike, and I think Call of Duty 2 game with the rest of the five-man shooter guys. That's how we actually started playing with each other for fun. And it was okay when it was just us. It was fine because no one really knew what they were doing. Everyone's on a level playing field. But obviously, going into Battlefield, I hadn't unlocked any weapons, hadn't unlocked any sights, foregrips, heavy barrels, anything like that. So I was already at a disadvantage. But it was actually the movement I found. Basically, running around, I'm fine. Actually, aiming and shooting, not too bad. It's the other jumps. It's the jump to crouch. And particularly changing weapons. I don't like the mouse wheel for that at all. It doesn't work very well. So I was messing around with key bindings. I'm almost there. They're not right yet. But I found Rival X Factor does a good video on key bindings, so I took a lot of his on board. But the reason I've got Battlefield 3, I mean, I have it on the Xbox. It's an old game at this stage now. It's nearly 2 years old. But I want to be up to speed. I want to be as good. I mean, I'm not great on the Xbox, but I call myself distinctly average. But I want to be at least that good on the PC when Battlefield 4 comes out. And looking at the videos for Battlefield 4, I mean, it doesn't look like a huge giant evolution from Battlefield 3, but it does look incredibly well developed. It looks like it's going to be great fun, 5-man squads, and I want to be able to play that on the Xbox and on the PC. I want the bigger player counts. I mean, the game just works better with more players. It's as simple as that. Not that interested in single player, not even that fussed about the graphics, but definitely bigger player count. And I like aiming with the mouse. I'm better already aiming with the mouse than I am at aiming with the Xbox controller. It's the jump between the keyboard and the mouse and looking away from the screen, because I haven't built up the muscle memory yet. That's been my main problem. The other thing about the gaming PC as well is I have access now to other games on the cheap. I mean, Steam is the obvious one, but there are loads of other websites where you can download games for like under £7, under £5, under £10, and they're good games from the last, you know, 2, 3, 4, even 5 years, and I haven't played them, so they're new to me, so it makes no difference to me that they're 5 years old. I know the rig's got to run them on top graphics settings, so I downloaded Hitman, for instance, Absolution. That's been great fun so far. Really enjoying that. I've downloaded, no, I haven't downloaded, I've bought Sniper V2, which I have on the Xbox as well. I just like to try the mouse controls on that. I've ordered SimCity. Unfortunately, I got it sent to the wrong address. I got it sent to an old address, so I'm waiting for that to come back. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Steam sale. The Steam sale is due any week now. It normally starts on a Thursday, the summer sale. So it didn't start today. It may start next week, because at the beginning of July or the week after. So I reckon I'll spend about £20-30. I'll probably pick up 10-20 games for that kind of price. Which, yeah, no, really looking forward to that. And yeah, just having access to all these other games and the different styles of games. I find if you want to try a game on the Xbox, if you end up going and buying it, you know, you're spending 20 quid a lot of the time, maybe 30 quid for a new game, and that's too much in one go. I just want to spend a little bit. Also have great access now to free-to-play games. I'm going to download PlanetSide 2, probably not League of Legends. I think it just looks a little bit too demanding for me at the moment. I'd rather just kind of mess around with some other games first. Now, I had my first sort of opening up of the PC case and had a look inside, because I put in a wireless card so that I could access, you know, through Wi-Fi here in the house. That's the first time I've ever done anything like that with a PC, and you know, it's the easiest possible thing you can do. It's a PCI card. You can pop it in, shove in a few screws and stick some aerials on the back. It's as easy as you get, but still I was nervous doing it. It was exciting, and you know, a little sense of achievement at the end that you've, you know, managed to add something. So I think in the future, if I was to swap out a graphics card or add an extra hard drive, I'd be brave enough now to just go and buy it online and, you know, pop it in myself. So that's basically it. There's a few things. So I'll make further videos in the future explaining, you know, how I'm improving with Battlefield, how I'm finding the whole experience. I'm really looking forward to now taking the video for this, putting in the video editor with the voice, and just seeing how quickly this video renders. Because if I was to do this on my old laptop, 12 minutes would probably take something like 5 hours maybe to render. I'm expecting it to do this much more quickly. Yeah, if you've watched this far, which is probably doubtful if not your case, but maybe you're wondering, you know, should I go for a PC? If you're worried about the jump, you know, the jump in technology, I'd say just kind of go for it. It's not as daunting. The hardware side of things you'll get to grips with, and yeah, it's I suppose it's personal choice. Some people want the new Xbox One or the PS4, but when I saw their reveal videos, I kind of knew, no, I definitely wanted a PC, and I wanted to be able to do more stuff with YouTube, and I wanted more flexibility. Anyway, if you have watched this far, thank you so much. If you wanted to leave a thumbs up or like, that would be great. Hopefully make lots more videos. Okay, talk to you soon, YouTube. Take care.
Yeah, I had an uncle like that. Saw this guy. Always dressing up. You almost got me going there.